Hello all, this is Brian with Vermillion Enterprises. We just concluded our premiums video, and at the end of that video I said we were going to have a second video today answering some questions that we fielded over the last couple of days via Spectacular's video that came out on, what was it?
Friday,
regarding UPS potential lockdown, or not lockdown, but strike, and also some questions that we've been fielding here across the counter and or on our station here. And we thought that the answers to those questions might be of interest to everybody who listens to us, and if not, then sorry for wasting your time. So what do you think about that, Tim?
They can scroll to another area.
That's true.
But trolls are gonna troll.
Trolls are gonna troll. Haters gonna hate. All right, we got a lot of hate over the last couple of weeks.
We have.
Or last couple of weeks, I should say, or last week or so. Haters gonna hate. All right, so it's becoming more mainstream news now that UPS may strike at the end of this month with their contract expiring on July 31st. And if it does, it's going to have widespread economic effects, not just on the bullion business, but just in general. There's going to be huge pain that comes from that. And so one of the questions I was asked, this is actually on Spectacular's video, why should you, and when they said you, that meaning me, use UPS over USPS for valuable packages? And therefore, why not just use registered mail USPS? Okay, so great question. And in that video with Spectacular, I did not clearly explain why. That is a great question. So we use both UPS as of right now and USPS to do our shipping. USPS is fine if you want to ship something up to a couple $1,000. All right, if it's lost, it's not the end of the world. And the reality is, though, that the USPS loses a ton more packages than UPS does. UPS is the most secure in the way of shipping packages and ensuring that they don't get lost. And I think that may largely, in part, be due to the union and how strong and how serious they take that business. And all of the men and women who work at UPS, I've gotten to know a handful of them. All of them are awesome people that I know that are super hardworking. The guys that run the trucks, and this is true for FedEx and the postal service too. The guys and gals that run the trucks in Southeast United States, you should see them basically from April through October. They are working hard in extreme conditions. It's not getting cooler out there, guys. No, it's not getting cooler. It's a number of times they've come in and they've literally, it's like, you got a bottle of water? It's like, yeah, man, here's a bottle of water, take it. It's it's hot out there. And a lot of their trucks, I don't know about the FedEx trucks, but I know the UPS and the Postal Service trucks, they don't have air. So, they're working hard out there. So first, let's just get that out of the way. But back to the question. Why should you use UPS over USPS? So that is for, when I say you should, at least for the business level, that's for packages that you don't want to lose. Right, so because they have a much higher success rate of delivering their packages. But there's a flip side of it, and this is a side that the public probably doesn't know. We insure our packages, right, but not through UPS or FedEx, through the USPS. We insure them through third-party insurers that underwrite through Lloyd's of London. And so when we ship packages through UPS, for example, there's typically significant packages, and our insurers don't want those packages going through the Postal Service, because the insurers don't trust the Postal Service when it comes to larger packages, because the Postal Service has demonstrated a larger number of losses. That's just the way it is. All right, UPS and then FedEx after that have demonstrated lower losses. That's the reality of it. And yeah, distributor to distributor, distributor to business uses none of them, categorically none of them use USPS. They all use FedEx or UPS, and I will say FedEx is taking a stronger foothold into it, into that market. I'm thinking it's because of this impending strike, and hopefully, just a side note, I have heard over the weekend that they are super close to inking a contract with the Teamsters. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It's from what I've been told, it's come down to just getting some things figured out with part-time pay. So hopefully they can get that knocked out this week and we can put all this noise behind us. I'm super hopeful it was, keeping my fingers crossed legitimately. And therefore, why not use registered mail? Registered mail is very secure. You can use registered mail. We are, the problem with registered mail is it can actually take weeks for a package to get from point A to point B. We've received a package from a gentleman in New Jersey to us in Florida, and it took 12, 14 days. I can't remember what it was. It was a bunch of half-ounce gold eagles. I think I broke even on the deal because it took so long for the package to get here. We will take incoming packages from registered mail or shipped via registered mail, but we do not lock in the prices on those packages because by the time it actually gets here, I mean, it can literally be 2 weeks later. And that is not acceptable in the bullion business. So distributor to distributor, distributor to corporation, never, ever uses USPS registered mail. It's fine for a shop or a company to send a package via registered mail to a client because, you know, it's not, that client is not ultimately trying to sell that product in the same window that they bought it in. So if the market moves up or down somewhat, it's typically, you know, that's fine to a client. You ensure it gets there, no big deal. But from business to business, unacceptable in the bullion business. It just doesn't work. The market, registered mail is too inconsistent and it can be too slow. The USPS is, from word on the street, is becoming slower and slower in the delivery because they're, you know, the number of packages are going up. E-commerce is becoming more and more of the thing, and so more and more companies are shipping product to their customers. And you know, the workload is just increasing at such a rate that the USPS is having trouble keeping up, and that's pretty much common knowledge. And supposedly they're grossly understaffed again. So hopefully they can get their woes figured out. Nothing against the USPS. UPS is just better when it comes to getting packages delivered in a timely manner and also with a higher success rate. That's just the reality of it. So dealer to dealer, distributor to dealer, dealer to distributor, unacceptable to use registered mail. Does not happen. That is common knowledge in the bullion business. I understand that people on this, the general public may not know that, but that is the reason why we can't use USPS. Secondly, the insurers just won't accept third-party insurance at any real rate. I think my rate I can insure through the Postal Service is like $10,000. That's 5 gold eagles. So I mean, that's just, you know, that's just not something that's going to work. You know, UPS and FedEx is the insurance or the delivery systems that we can use and still maintain our level of insurances that we need. So, does that that cover everything there, Tim?
That makes sense.
Someone looking in from the outside, is there anything that was I didn't clarify there?
No.
I mean, it's
pretty much comes down to insurance, it sounds like.
Insurance, yes. Yeah.
Long story short.
It all comes down to insurance, yes. If we were insuring through the actual delivery services, yeah, it probably makes sense to use USPS, but we don't. And the reason why we don't is because of the rates. We get a, you know, when trying to insure a, let's say a $75,000 package, Well, that's try to insure that through the Postal Service and see what that costs versus having a third-party insurance company. So that's why that happens that way. All right, so enough of that. That sounds like that's kind of answered, Tim?
Yes.
All right. Why do I wear gloves? Tim, you answer this.
It's money.
Oh, yeah.
Money is dirty.
So, yeah. So why do I wear gloves? It's a couple things. One is we're dealing with the public, obviously, and also we deal with cash. Johnny Manziel cash, right? So if you're unsure of why we would wear gloves and when dealing with the public and handling cash, when you have a minute and you're taking a break, Google substances found on cash, and you'll understand immediately why we wear gloves when we handle cash. Body fluids of all kind. And I've had cash come in from the bank stained with blood. That happens somewhat regularly. It's kind of frightening. Well-documented cocaine, fentanyl. Then you got things like HIV, hepatitis, COVID, and so all those things come into play, and that's why I wear gloves. And also, we deal with the public. How many times people have come in and want to sell their gold ring, and they literally put their whole finger in their mouth and to wet their finger so they can slide their ring off? Happens every week. So, you want to handle someone else's slobber?
No, but so now it just sounds like the answer to question number 1 was insurance, and the answer to question number 2 is personal insurance.
Personal insurance. That's right. It's that's right. So it's just hygiene reasons, guys. Bullion and coins, everything you see out on our table that we buy and sell, it doesn't matter. You don't need to wear gloves just to handle it because you might get your fingerprints on it or whatever. No, that doesn't matter. For 99% of the things that we buy and sell, it's just for germs, and I don't want to be exposed to any kind of drugs. So that's why. So why do I wear black clothes, Tim? That's the third question I got on my list.
You're a Johnny Cash impersonator.
I love Johnny Cash, and I love him dearly. Listen to his music almost on a daily basis. And however, it's just my uniform. I got literally probably dozens of these shirts and dozens of these pants. Just like, why does the UPS guy wear all brown? It's just his uniform. And speaking of that, he's here right now, so we're going to cut this off. All right, so we just had a little break in the action there because UPS just dropped off a box. I'm going to open this and show you what's inside this box. Let's see what we got here.
Double boxed.
Double box. You can see double box, security tape, all everything it can. Heavy duty packing paper. And
all that for that.
All that for that. Get the packing slip out there. Nobody needs or wants to see that. What do we got in there, Tim? You got a tube of red and a tube of orange. So basically what was in that box, Tim? About $80,000 worth of gold. No third-party insurance company will insure that through the Postal Service. You might be able to do it through registered mail, but again, that's 2 weeks. That could be up to 2 week delivery time, if not longer. That package was ordered on Friday. It's here Monday. Third-party insurance is only going to insure that for businesses that are doing this kind of transport using UPS or FedEx. So that gets back to question number 1. So tube of orange and a tube of red. We got our buffaloes back in stock. All right. So you say demand is okay. Fourth question. We're running out of time here, Tim. You say demand is down and supply is high. If that is the case, shouldn't the price of silver drop also? And this was on a spectacular video that we did last week. And so no, that's just not how the way it works with silver and gold. The price of silver is determined by paper contracts issued by things like SLV, Chase, JP Morgan have their heavy hand in that. Basically, the price of silver comes down to, at this point in time, whatever Jamie Dimon's whim is. So he is what dictates the price of silver. That's the reality of it. And they can, that's not, and that's in my opinion, right? So that's pretty much accepted fact. So whether that's good or bad, I'm not going to get into. But at this point in time, that's pretty much, the way that most of the silver stacking community feels. And you guys make your own opinions about that. Spend some time, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, looking at the price of silver and Chase's physical holdings, and also market manipulation and fines and everything that they've accrued over the years associated with that. So, but back to the question, you say demand, when he says you, it means me. You say demand is down and supply is high. If that's the case, shouldn't silver price drop also? No. So again, the price of silver is dictated by an endless, infinite number of contracts that can be written with no backing at all. That's just where the powers that be will say that the price of silver is. But what dictates when supply is high, plentiful like it is now, what you see is a drop in the premiums, and that is without a doubt happening. So we're seeing silver premiums drop significantly. If you watched our premiums video this morning, you saw that junk 90 premiums and silver eagle prices have come down, and I believe will continue to come down. Generic silver also, I mean, we're selling 100-ounce bricks at $1 over currently. How long has it been since we've been doing that? We're buying junk 90 dimes and quarters at $1 over, selling at 3 over. So how long has it been since we've been doing that? So no, what this the viewer asked, no, the price of silver is irrelevant as based as to the physical supply. Only the premiums are affected by the amount of physical supply. If physical supply dries up, the premiums go way up, as we saw during the COVID years. As the material becomes plentiful, as we're buying a bunch of material across the counter, as we are right now, the premiums go down because we want to get rid of it. And we need to get rid of it fastly because we're constantly buying more. So does that make sense, Tim?
Makes sense.
Somebody looking in from the outside that answers that?
Yeah, the COVID years. Sounds like a soap opera.
Yeah, it kind of does. And it kind of was.
Yeah.
How do I classify 90% silver constitutional coins dated from 1999 to current date? So not the 64 and before quarters and dimes and halves, but the new stuff. So basically the coins that have been popped out as silver proof sets is what they're referring to. It's not considered junk 90. So junk 90 is definitely your 64 and before coins. That is how wholesalers and distributors view it. And the the 1999 and off or later year silver coins are considered separate entities on their own. Currently, they're probably trading at about the same value, but are separate separate items and have to be dealt separately. If you sell a bag of junk dimes to one of the distributors or a wholesaler or somebody like me, we don't expect and we don't want to see new silver quarters and dimes in there. And part of the reason why is so many of these companies over the last couple of years have taken these quarters, just clad quarters, and they've plated them. They've put silver-plated clad quarters and put out these commemorative sets, and they also gold-plated and platinum coated them too. You can see this stuff, this kind of material on eBay all over the place. And so just by looking at it, you can't tell the difference between a silver-plated clad quarter and a platinum clad quarter. And so we literally have to test every single quarter that comes in. We're just not interested in that. So 1964 coins and before have to be separated from the newer material that's come out since 1999. And really since 1992 is when those silver sets started coming back out with those little flat black packs. So just, I think that answers that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so they need to be separated. Right now they're probably pretty closely at the same price, but definitely not the same SKUs. And this is one that Tim and I, it kind of saddens me that we still get this question, because Tim and I have been hammering this since, I don't know, a year. Why don't you quote your 90% buy sell prices and face value multipliers, multiplier numbers, rather than using the you know, plus whatever per ounce rate? And so the reason why, guys, is and before I say, check out the video that Tim has pinned at the top of our channel. It gives you a great explanation, tutorial on how to determine the rates for fractional precious metals and also constitutional 90. And what you'll see is how to do that math, obviously. But the reason why I don't say, hey, we're selling 90 at 19 times face or 20 times face or something like that is because, first of all, these videos stay up forever, right? Or at least until we take them down. And so obviously the price is constantly changing. It takes us about 30 minutes from the time we start, maybe even 45 minutes from the time we start filming one of these videos till we actually publish it live so you can see it. In that 45 minutes, the price is already different. So I could quote a price at, let's say, 9 a.m. and by 9:45 p.m. or 9:45 a.m., by the time the video actually goes live, the price is different.
We actually shot a video months ago where he actually did say the face value in it.
Yes.
And then during the video, the price of silver dropped so much.
It completely wrecked the video. So that's why we do the plus, you know, $1 per ounce or plus $3 per ounce. And please learn those equations. They're simple. If you're into stacking 90%, you got to know those equations. So you know, you got to know how the ins and outs of that.
Yeah, if you know the Pythagorean theorem, you should know the junk silver.
There you go. So I think you just made a huge assumption there, though, Tim.
Yeah,
but,
you're probably right.
Yes. But that's what Google's for. So if you don't want to watch our video explaining that, just Google it. It'll take you, you know, literally a minute to understand the equation. And the reason being is the market is just constantly changing. It's constantly in flux. When someone comes into my shop and wants to buy or sell something, doesn't matter what it is, we look at the price live at that moment, and that's how we determine the price. We don't look at the price at what it was at 9 a.m. You know, a guy comes in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We don't use the 9 a.m. price to do the math. We use the price at 3 p.m. So, does that make sense, Tim?
That makes sense.
We use the rates. The rate doesn't change. It's the price that changes. So, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that answers some questions. If you guys got any other questions you want us to answer, please reach out to the shop, drop us a line. Tim's been very active on Instagram and our Facebook accounts, so you know, you can communicate directly with him through there too. So anything you want to say about that, Tim?
Pay attention to those things, because that's where we put up bin items.
Yeah, yep. And also
we've had great deals on there.
That's right. And we got some more coming out this week. Looks like we got a storm coming in, which is always fun. And also hit the like and subscribe button on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Hit that bell notification at the top of our YouTube page, because explain to people what that does for them, Tim.
It lets them know when we put out a video, and those are definitely important when we do our buy it now videos, because I don't know how many people we had come in ask for the off-quality eagles and the rounds at that price.
That's right. And we appreciate you guys watching and contributing to those sales. But you know, when those things sell, we post at the top, pinned at the channel there in the comments, that all the items have sold. That way, it doesn't get confusing for people. So always check out those comments on those types of videos. Yeah. So today's Monday. And we do ship throughout the country, USPS or UPS. If there's anything we can help you with, we'll be happy to do so. Tim, how do we accept payment from the folks?
Cash, wire, Zelle.
That's right. And so cash, wire, Zelle, guys. No PayPal or Venmo, no crypto, no credit cards, no bank drafts or personal checks. You guys have a great day. Keep the questions coming, keep the views coming, and we hope to help. You guys have a good day. Thanks.